Is that right?
If anything, I would be a pantheist, not a pantheist.
Oh, what's that?
So a pantheist is, that literally creation is God.
Right.
So creation equals God, whereas a panentheist means in, so en means in, so it means that God is in creation, creation is in God. It's something.
What's the difference between that and a pantheist?
It means that there's more than just creation. There's something plus. It's like creation plus. That's how I would see it.
Why do you see it that way?
I just think it's. I believe in that science is the best way to verify information, and if there's any kind of God,
can science verify the supernatural?
No, because there's no good evidence that there is supernatural.
But can science verify supernatural?
There's no good evidence that there is.
No, but you have to have a mechanism to verify it or not, isn't it? Though, how do you know if supernatural exists or not? Then?
Well, I don't think it does.
No. Whether you don't think it does is just a subjective opinion. We're talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
That's my subjective opinion. I can
But
only
what's
go on my subjective
but what's it based on?
It's
Because
based
science,
on my experience, my subjective
So what
experience.
have you experienced that's brought you to the conclusion that a creator doesn't exist? Just brought you to this because you're saying science now. Science doesn't agree with what you say. Science doesn't believe creators.
You haven't asked me what I believe. What do you mean?
No, I did ask you.
Okay,
you said you're a panentheist.
Yeah.
So a panentheist is someone who believes that God is in creation, creation is in God.
For example, I think.
But then you went to science model.
I believe in evolution, so I believe the cosmos. Has
Which
evolved.
model of evolution?
So the one that's sort of ascribed to by 98% of scientists. So if you look at the Big Bang theory, for example, I ascribe to that.
But it's just a belief. You accept that, yeah?
It's
not proven.
It's a belief, but it's based on good evidence.
No, but it's just a belief, though. It's not proven.
But it's based on good evidence.
What's the good evidence?
So you've got evidence coming from archaeology. You've got evidence.
No, Big Bang's got nothing to do with archaeology.
No, I'm talking about let's say the evolution of Earth.
If you want to talk about evolution on Earth, but you can't talk about evolution.
There's a whole discipline called Big History, which includes cosmology.
All right, so let's start with cosmology.
We can talk about cosmology.
Right, so let's talk about the evidence for cosmology. Okay. So what evidence do you have of a Big Bang? We don't have any evidence. You have a belief. You said good reason. Good reason. What's the good reason?
No, good evidence, I said. So
good evidence?
Yeah, you have evidence coming from the Hubble telescope.
What does that prove?
It proves that galaxies are expanding away from each other.
Right.
You've got the Doppler effect, which that galaxies are moving away from each other. So you can extrapolate back and say
all scientists believe in this.
Probably not all.
But so looking at the same evidence, they come to a different conclusion.
I'd say 98. Well, that's how science works. Science works
I know
but it works on falsification. So nobody wants to say I've got the right thing in science.
Yeah, they can't.
They say, look, here's a hypothesis. Shoot it down.
Right.
That's the main thing. That's the virtue of science.
So do you think the Big Bang is incompatible with the existence of God?
No.
Good.
No.
That's a good answer.
I would say,
okay. So talk to me before the Big Bang.
So I would go. That would be the furthest I could go as a deist kind of God. So someone who kicks off the universe and lets it go.
So you believe? Okay, that's fantastic.
So he would set in motions. He would.
So you believe God exists?
Strong nuclear force.
So you believe God exists?
No, I don't have good enough evidence.
You just said God kicks it.
Kickstarts it.
So God kickstarts it.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that would be.
I'm asking what you believe.
I'm saying that would be if you wanted to go down that line.
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you what you believe.
Yeah. I know.
Do you believe God exists?
Depends which kind of God. God is like saying.
Do you believe a creator exists?
Do
you believe in an uncaused cause?
I think that's just. I mean, you could say that creation caused itself. You could call that God. I mean, it is creative. This is obviously creative, right? We've got trees here.
It was caused. Grass, this is the effect. This is the effect of cause, then, isn't it? Because it's not always been here, is it?
No, it hasn't always been here.
So it's an effect of a cause, then, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And is that caused or uncaused?
I mean, it's probably caused, yeah. There's probably lots
So
of
the cause is caused. Now, obviously you understand the problem of infinite regression now, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
So we need to kickstart it somewhere. So we have to come to a point where something's not caused.
Yeah, but I just agree that I could subscribe to a deist kind of God at most.
No, but the deist God you're referring to that kickstarted everything,
yeah.
Is that uncaused?
I guess so.
Would it have to be, isn't it?
Yeah, he would.
Because otherwise it would need
self-caused.
because that would need a cause.
He could be self-caused.
So it's not caused by anything else. Self-caused.
Yeah.
Give me an example. Why would you say something self-caused?
Well, there's no other example of God, is there? I mean, if that would be.
That's what I'm saying to you. So,
definition of God, right?
so my definition of God is uncaused, cause of the universe. Yeah.
Sure.
So, you agree with that or not?
It's not about agreeing. I
It
explore
is.
things. No, it isn't. That's what you think reality's like. I don't think I'd have never.
You disagree with that? Look, there's no games here. I'm asking a simple question. Do you agree or not? You agree or don't agree? No, I don't mind. If you don't agree, it's not a big deal for me.
Yeah, but if I just, it's so sort of conflictual the way you're talking about it. It's like maybe I could say that there is an uncaused cause.
Right.
Okay, that's fine.
Right.
I could go that far, but I'm not saying I agree and I totally believe in that. I'm just saying, yeah, that's quite logical.
Yeah, that's fair. It's reasonable.
Yeah, reasonable.
All right.
Yeah.
And now this uncaused cause, if it caused the universe, yeah, would you accept then this uncaused cause is conscious?
Yeah, I mean, that's another leap. I don't know.
Well,
why would I think that?
well, the reason you think that is because we have conscious causes and you have mechanical causes. So you have causes that occur just because something else exists. So, for example, apples will grow on a tree just because the apple tree exists. Apple doesn't choose to grow. The tree doesn't choose to grow apples. The apple's a result of its existence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Now, I've used this example before. If I was to bake an apple pie, the apple pie doesn't necessarily have to exist just because I exist, does it? But I can get the apples, get the crumble, and make an apple crumble. Yeah.
Yeah.
So its existence is caused by me deciding when to do it, isn't it? It's not
because we know that you're conscious.
because I'm conscious. Okay.
No, I know that you're conscious.
Right.
I think you are.
Yeah, of course.
I would.
So that's
some
the
people might
that's the
not do
difference
that.
between me and an apple tree. An
Yeah.
apple tree doesn't choose when it has apples or not.
Yeah.
An apple is just a consequence of its existence.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can verify that you're conscious. I think because I talk to you, you respond. I'm pretty much.
How do you understand the term conscious?
I understand it to mean basically there is something.
Can think.
No, there is something that it is like to be you.
That's what?
It's a famous paper. You should look it up. It's about consciousness. It talks about.
Who wrote it?
I can't remember his name.
Go on.
I wish I could.
It wasn't that Lanza, was it? Robert Lanza.
It may be, or I don't know. I don't
On about
know.
this biocentric.
No, he's talking about the title is pretty evocative. It's something like what it is like to be a bat. So he's talking about is consciousness in animals?
Would you say a tree is conscious?
He's talking about is there consciousness in animals, and he talks about a bat. So he's essentially saying what happens if you trade places with a bat. Do the lights just go out, or is there something that it is like to be that
Maybe
bat?
I need to elaborate what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right. I'm a conscious cause of the apple crumble.
Yeah.
The apple tree is the mechanical cause of an apple. Yeah. So let's just say it's not just conscious; it's a conscious cause. Yeah. So the cause of the apple crumble is a conscious decision by me to make it when choose to make it when not to make it. Yeah. The apple crumble doesn't necessitate to exist just because I exist, does it?
No, I mean
Exactly.
I know that you've created it and you're conscious.
No, but I don't have to make it, do I?
No, you don't have to.
But so if I cause it, then the cause is conscious cause. It's a decision-making cause. It's a purpose cause.
Yeah, because you've created it.
No, but I've decided when to create it. That's the point.
Yeah.
I don't. So but an apple tree doesn't decide when to produce apples, does it?
No. Yeah. Okay. So you're saying that you have free will and a tree doesn't.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the cause. What's the cause of an apple? An apple tree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But that cause is called a mechanical cause, meaning the apple will exist because the tree exists. Do you understand? The tree can't exist and then choose when to produce apples. Because the tree exists, the apples will exist.
Yeah, it's just mechanical cause
So
and effect.
yeah, exactly. So if the uncaused cause of the universe, which will be infinite, eternal, was the cause of the universe.
But going back to the difference between you and you causing an apple crumble and a tree causing, I don't know if you causing a apple crumble is conscious. Maybe it is mechanical. I mean, that's still.
Well, if it was
up to
mechanical,
debate.
that means the apple crumble needs to exist because I exist.
No, I'm just saying that we don't know whether, you know, the biochemistry of your brain and everything made you decide that could have been cause and effect.
No, but the point here is this: if it was
Yeah.
mechanical, that means that necessitates the apple crumble to exist because I exist.
So what is the other category you're talking
Mechanical cause,
about? You're talking about mechanical and
conscious.
conscious. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's where we don't. I mean, for me, that's like very nebulous. The
Yeah.
definition of
So
conscious.
the reason I'm using conscious is that I'm the one to decide when the apple crumble is going to come to existence. That's what I'm saying to you. Whereas the apple tree doesn't decide when the apple comes into existence.
Yeah.
The
Assuming
apple-
you do decide.
Well, I've read that nonsense also.
No, it's not. It's
It
assuming
is
you do
kind
decide. I don't know
It's a bit
if you do
pseudo.
decide.
You're trying to say that there's no such thing as free will,
No, I'm
and that
just saying I
everything
don't
I do
know.
is
I'm not trying to say that. I'm saying I don't know.
No, but that's what you're implying.
I'm saying it could be.
That's what you're implying. And I know what you're implying. You're implying the idea
I'm
that
saying it could be.
no, but you're implying it that. See, what you're implying is that whatever I do is the result of a past, something in the past. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a million
Yeah,
different causes why
so
you
using
speak English,
your
why you-
logic, when a man rapes a child, yeah, he's not responsible for what he's doing because it's just a product of his past. That's where it goes. That's where it goes. No, it doesn't, because if it's just mechanical chain reaction, yeah, then there's nothing he could do to avoid doing what he did.
Yeah, I mean that would be a terrible conclusion.
No, but unfortunately that's where you lead with your hypothesis.
But it could be that. I'm not.
No.
I'm
If
not
you're
excluding that.
Seriously,
I'm
if
not,
you-
I'm not
so-
subscribing to it.
No,
I'm
I'm not saying you.
excluding it.
No. I'm not putting it in there. But what I'm saying is,
Yes,
if you want to throw that in the ballpark, you have to accept that someone who rapes a child should not be held accountable for their action.
No. I think they should be held
No.
accountable. But they might be.
No.
They might be mechanically forced to do it.
No.
Yeah, it can
You
exist
can't
at
say
the
it.
same time.
If you're trying to say that there's no such thing as free will, and whatever we do in this,
I'm not saying
no. But the theory you're putting forward does say that.
I'm saying it might be that.
all right.
Wouldn't it be arrogant of me to say I know definitely?
No. If you want to go that
mean,
route,
I
I'm just saying to what you're saying.
Yeah.
So in terms of the gravitation of what you're saying. So what you're basically saying is,
I'm
not
saying-
you.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. No.
I'm not saying you are. But I'm
could
saying the
be
theory
that.
you're putting forward, because I've read it, I've watched it, I've seen it. It's just such thing as free will. I watched it. But what it just leads to, like I said to you, if nothing
I
leads
know. I've thought about it. I know what you're talking.
and that's where you're going to go.
Yeah,
You
I
can't
know.
hold any. Criminals cannot be held accountable for their actions.
No,
No,
they can be.
No, they can't be, because it's just chain reaction.
They need to be.
It's a chain reaction.